If you're looking to level up your IT career, especially in roles like service management operations or project coordination, there's just one certification that pops up in every job posting, which is the ITIL 4 Foundation, and for good reason too. ITIL framework is used by thousands of organizations throughout the world, from small IT teams to huge enterprises, to deliver better, more efficient, and more customer-focused services to your users. Whether you're in help desk, DevOps, sysadmin, or aspiring to lead IT teams, understanding ITIL gives you the language, structure, and mindset to actually do so, and to align IT work with real business goals. Now let's talk about the ITIL 4 Foundation exam itself. This is an entry-level certification by Excelos, and it tests you in the basics of the ITIL framework. It's a 40-question multiple-choice exam, no trick questions and no simulation, just theory, logic, and understanding. You have 60 minutes to complete the exam, more if you have extra accommodations, and you need to get just 26 questions right in order to pass the exam, or roughly a score of 65%. Now what does the exam actually test you on? The exam covers core principles and key concepts of IT service management. It dives into things like the 4 dimensions of service management, the service value system, the service value chain, the 7 guiding principles of ITIL 4, and key ITIL terms like incident management, problem, change, and service request, and 15 essential IT practices previously known as processes. The first major area that you'll need to understand is the 4 dimensions of IT service management. Think of these as the key ingredients in order to create a well-balanced, reliable IT service. If you leave one out or ignore it, everything breaks down and the recipe just doesn't work out. The 4 dimensions are organizations and people, information and technology, partners and suppliers, and value streams and processes. Each dimension plays a very important role. Organizations and people is all about the structure, the culture, and the skill sets of the people delivering the services. Information and technology covers the tools and technologies needed to deliver the services. Partners and suppliers include third-party vendors and contractors that help make the service possible. And finally, the value streams and processes define how the work flows, the steps that turn a request or need to something valuable for the customer, tangible or none. The ITIL 4 Foundation exam will test your knowledge on how these different dimensions interact with each other. For example, if a company rolls out a new software tool and doesn't train their people to actually use the tool, the information and technology might be solid, but the organizations and people side is weak. Understanding these relationships helps you see IT services not just as technical systems, but as living, dynamic ecosystems. Another major concept in the ITIL 4 Foundation exam is the service value system. This is the bigger picture overview. It shows how all the components of an IT organization work together in order to create value. It's like a blueprint for how IT should operate in order to deliver value to the customer or user, not just the support department. At the heart of the service value system is the service value chain. This is the engine that drives value creation. It consists of 6 interconnected activities: plan, improve, engage, design and transition, obtain and build, and deliver and support. Each one of those activities supports the workflow in one aspect or another, from capturing demand to actually offering the value. Let's say a customer needs a new mobile app. The organization starts by planning the work, designing the app, building it with the right technical specifications, delivering and supporting it for the user, and constantly looking for ways to improve the product. All of these steps are part of the service value chain. The exam will test your knowledge and understanding of how these interact with each other and support the whole goal of delivering value to the end user. Now, one of the coolest parts of the ITIL 4 Foundation exam is its practical approach to real-world IT problems, and that's where the 7 guiding principles come in. These are short, powerful statements that help IT professionals make better decisions. No matter what the task you're working on is, you're gonna find these very helpful. Some examples include focus on value, keep it simple and practical, and collaborate and promote visibility. Now you can see how these can be really beneficial when solving a real-world IT problem. These principles aren't tied to a specific position in the IT department or in the company. They apply to everyone, from service desk agents all over to the CEO. Then there are the 15 ITIL practices that you're gonna need to know for the exam. These are updated versions of what we used to call processes. They cover everything from incident management, like handling outages and errors, to change enablement, like managing updates and upgrades, and problem management, like finding and fixing the root cause of a specific issue in our systems. Now, each practice represents a specific aspect of running and organizing our IT organization. The exam doesn't go too deep into the nuts and bolts of every single practice because these are kept for the higher level ITIL certifications, but it gives you some sort of foundation on them. Understanding these practices is like having a toolkit. Once you understand them, you can actually figure out which tool to use for which problem and which situation. It's not overly technical, it's more about understanding how IT services should be designed, delivered, and improved upon time. And even though it's not a hard exam, you'll definitely need focus in order to pass it, so you don't get overwhelmed by the amount of words and the different technical concepts that you're going to face. Now, if you want to pass the ITIL 4 Foundation exam on the first try, here are some of my tips. First, don't just memorize the definitions. Now, memorizing definitions questions is a huge part of the exam, but you need to understand the underlying concepts and really figure out how they actually work in order to perform better on the exam. So when you're studying, always ask yourself, why does this practice exist? Or why do we do this? In order to have an understanding of why we actually do things and how to answer the questions on the exam. This kind of thinking makes the exam very easy in my experience. Second, practice, practice, practice. The more practice tests that you take, the better prepared for the exam you're gonna be. And when you get a question wrong, don't just look at the right answer and go away. You need to read the explanation for the question and understand why you got it wrong. This helps you improve and actually learn the ITIL framework. The third one is using spaced repetition. Instead of cramming for 5 hours to study the exam in one night, separate your study routine around 2 to 4 weeks, which I think is the maximum amount of time you should be preparing for the exam since it's a relatively short one, and break up your study sessions into days or weeks. Use smaller study sessions like 20 minutes to 40 minutes maximum so you can make sure that you are actually retaining the information. And finally, if like me, English is not your first language, you're actually gonna get extra time on the exam, which is about 30 minutes if I remember correctly, and you can actually use that time for your benefit. Follow these tips and I'm sure that you'll walk into the exam confident and you're gonna pass it easily. So how do you actually go about passing your exam on the first try? Well, that's where Dion Training comes in. Our ITIL 4 Foundation course is prepared and made for you to actually pass the exam on the first try. It's designed to teach you everything that you need to know for the exam. It breaks down the content into bit-sized small videos that you can watch and understand the different concepts. These lessons are easy to understand, there's no fluff, and they provide real-life examples that can help you understand the concepts even better. And here's the kicker. If you purchase the course from diontraining.com, you're actually getting our 60-day 100% pass guarantee, which means if you finish your course until 100% completion and go take the exam all within a 60-day period and then fail the exam, we're going to give you another voucher for you to go and retake the exam. That's how much we trust the course. We know that if you study the course, take the practice exam, and follow our tips, you are going to pass the exam on the first try. Now, I only used the Dion Training course for the exam and I got a 37 out of 40 on the exam, which is a relatively high score. So go on to diontraining.com/courses and check out the ITIL 4 Foundation course. If you're still on the fence of learning ITIL, we actually have another video up that talks all about the ITIL framework and why you should actually go for it. You can check out that video here. But if you're ready to start your ITIL journey and go for the ITIL 4 Foundation exam, I'll leave the link down below in the description for the ITIL 4 Foundation course so you can go on, study for the course, use the voucher provided in the course to book the exam, and go on and pass your ITIL 4 exam and get the job that you've been always looking for. As always, if you found this video helpful, give it a like, comment down below, tell us what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.